Blountstown is a very small town. There's only 3 schools. We have 3 traffic lights. All the food is on one street. Everybody knows everybody here.
Born and raised only an hour west of Tallahassee, Michael Engram never worried about a shortage of community.
I would say Blountstown's like one big family. Like whether you want that person to be a part of your family or not, they're gonna be a part of your family because like Blountstown sticks together. That's one thing that we're true to.
However, like any close family, the small town had its problems.
Growing up in this part of town, like you didn't typically see people make it out. And they fell victim to the streets. They were on drugs. They were a part of gang violence. Like that was a typical thing.
From a very young age, Michael always wanted something different for himself, but the close-knit community made it difficult to do so.
I would definitely say Blountstown restrained me from being me. Growing up, I was different. I wasn't your typical boy. I knew like I didn't do like the typical things.
Michael was bullied throughout his childhood for liking sports such as gymnastics and cheerleading instead of traditionally more masculine sports like football or basketball.
The pressure of Blountstown and the pressure of, you know, a guy does this, I was like pushed into, you need to play this or you need to do this.
He had issues with his identity because part of him, I think, wanted to be one way. Another part of him wanted to be another way, and it was just conflicting.
In middle school, like I think that's when it hit me the hardest was my granddad came down. He came in my room and he just asked me, he was like, why aren't you outside playing with other boys? And I just told him like, I couldn't. That's when he told me, he was like, no matter what, you have to be your own self. You have to be your own person. You can't allow people to define who you are. And from that moment on, I made a vow to myself that I was gonna be myself. I wasn't gonna allow anybody to deter me from who I wanted to be.
Secure with his newfound mentality, Michael grew the courage to go with his friend to her cheerleading practice. And there, Michael found his home.
It was like I found my space. It was like I found my safe space in the world where I could truly be myself. And I think that's when it really connected to like what my granddad was saying, like to be who I wanted to be. Because like once I entered cheerleading, like nothing else mattered.
It wasn't long until Michael's personality outgrew the small town, so he set his sights somewhere bigger, and he was going to use cheerleading to get there.
We would go to local competitions in Tallahassee, and I never thought about college. I never looked into college because I was typically just trying to get through high school.
He saw the cheerleaders, and he was like, Mama, that's gonna be me. And I was like, cool, I mean, okay.
And then to add on to that, it was Stacy Sutton. So I just listened to the way she talked about the program and the way she talked about her athletes and how much she just cared for them. After that day, I was determined. I was like, I'm gonna be a Florida State cheerleader. I'm gonna be under the direction of Stacy Sutton. I'm going to make it.
And almost 8 years later, Michael made it.
I definitely have a great relationship with Cal. He's a motivated individual. You know, clearly he sets goals and knows how to achieve them, and I think that that does sometimes take a special person.
So no matter what nobody says, Michael will succeed.
No matter what, I can't allow my hardships, I can't allow what people said about me, I can't allow what anybody tried to define me as. Like, now, like, I'm that person. Like, I'm able to look back at all of that and say, like, I made it. Like, I'm here.
Throughout Michael's entire life, the main driving force has always been the same, his passion.
When I first found out I was pregnant with Michael, I kept telling myself, I finally have somebody that's gonna love me. My baby loves me, and I love him. That's my baby. I am very proud of him. I really think that he can accomplish anything he sets his mind to.
If you keep your head up and you trust in yourself and like you have faith in yourself that you can do anything that you put your mind to, like anything is possible.
In Tallahassee, Florida, I'm Grant Gibbs,